Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? This time we're going to tackle TikTok Shop. Help you guys figure out if it's the right move for your business.
Yeah, it really is changing the game.
Right, it's blending shopping and entertainment like we haven't really seen before.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about it. It's not just another place to sell your stuff.
It's a whole different ball game.
It is. Think of it like setting up a shop right in the middle of a party.
Okay, I like that. Everyone's already having fun.
Exactly. They're in a good mood, ready to engage.
But before we get to all that fun stuff,
Yeah.
we need to make sure people are actually ready to set up shop right.
Yeah.
What are some of the must-haves before even thinking about TikTok Shop?
Okay, so first things first. TikTok wants to make sure that this marketplace is a good experience for everyone.
Makes sense.
So you'll need a valid TikTok Shop account, and that means having your business registered. Got to make sure everything's legit.
Oh, absolutely. So no selling questionable stuff from the back of my closet.
Haha, probably not the best first impression. You really want to launch with products that fit that whole TikTok vibe and your brand, of course.
Definitely. So once we're all legit and registered, what's next?
All right, so head over to the TikTok Seller Center.
Okay.
And you'll want to sign up using your business account. And get ready, there's a verification process. It's just how TikTok makes sure everything's on the up and up.
Okay, so kind of like a digital bouncer checking IDs at the door.
Yeah, you got it. It's all about building trust between buyers and sellers.
Absolutely. And then once we're verified, then the fun really begins.
Then you get to add your products.
Okay, so time to stock those virtual shelves. Where do we start?
All right, so go into your Seller Center dashboard and look for that Products tab.
Okay, got it.
You'll see Add Product. This is where you tell everyone what you're selling. Name, category, a really clear description, and obviously the price.
And this is where it gets interesting, right? We're talking TikTok. We got to think visually.
Absolutely. This isn't some boring online store. This is TikTok. You need great pictures and videos, things that'll grab attention.
So not just a plain photo of a T-shirt on a hanger.
Yeah.
Show someone actually wearing it, styling it, right?
Gets the idea. Or imagine a quick video showing how to use a cool new gadget.
Makes sense.
Think about all the energy on TikTok. That's what you want to capture with your products.
Right. So we've got our shop looking good. Products are ready to go. And now we need to get people to actually see them.
That's where promotion comes in. And this is where TikTok really is a game changer.
Oh.
Their algorithm, it's designed to connect people with content they'll love, and that includes products.
So it does the heavy lifting for us.
In a way, yeah. You've got options like running TikTok ads so you can target specific people based on their interests.
That makes sense?
And of course, influencer collaborations.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love those.
Yeah.
It's like tapping into a ready-made audience.
Exactly. Imagine one of your favorite influencers showing off your product. People trust them. But remember, it's all about good content.
Oh, for sure. It can't just be some boring ad, right?
No way! You gotta think TikTok trends, challenges, sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine them using your product in a funny skit or even, a dance routine.
Okay, yeah. That's the kind of stuff that takes off on TikTok.
It is. It's all about fitting into the platform, not trying to, force something that doesn't belong.
Okay, that's a good point. So we got the products, the look, the promotion. What else?
Now you got to make sure you're ready to handle all those customers once they find your shop. You need to run a tight ship.
Right. Operations, making sure the party runs smoothly.
You got it. Think inventory management. Can you handle it if there's a sudden rush of orders? Do you have a good way to keep track of stock so you don't run out?
Because nothing's worse than getting excited to buy something and it's gone. Talk about a party foul.
Exactly. And don't forget customer service.
Oh, right. Yeah, huge.
People want quick answers to their questions.
Of course. And they need accurate shipping information.
Right. It's all part of being a good host.
Making sure everyone feels welcome and taken care of.
You got it. Responsiveness is key. People expect quick service.
This is really feeling less like opening a shop and more like planning the perfect online party. We've got the stuff, the look, the way to get people there, and how to make sure everything runs smoothly. But there's one more thing, isn't there? Something we can't forget.
You're thinking data, right?
Uh-huh. Data. Tell me everything.
Well, data is like having a backstage pass.
Ooh, I like that.
You get to peek behind the curtain and see what's working and what's not.
That makes sense. So we can actually see what people are liking instead of just guessing.
Exactly. Which products are getting the most views? What type of content is making people buy? Are your ads actually reaching the right people? Data tells you all of that.
So it's feedback, right? It's telling us
Right.
what's hot at the party and what's not.
Exactly. And you can use that feedback to keep the energy high.
So it's not just about the numbers themselves, it's about what they mean. It's about understanding the vibe.
You got it. For example, you might notice that some product demos do really well and others don't.
Happens all the time.
Data can tell you why. Maybe the lighting's better in one video, or the music's catchier.
Okay, yeah. It's like having a live focus group,
Exactly.
helping us make adjustments as we go.
And that's the great thing about it. You can keep experimenting. Try different content, different ads, and see what works.
So it's all about being flexible, listening to the data and adapting.
Precisely.
Mm.
Now, we've talked about throwing a great party, getting everyone in the door, and keeping them entertained.
Right.
But what about the party favors? We can't forget about those.
Oh, of course not. You're talking about fulfillment, right?
I am.
Making sure those orders get out the door, everything packaged up and shipped without a hitch.
Exactly. It's the behind-the-scenes magic that turns a click into a happy customer, and this is where you have some decisions to make.
Okay, like what?
Well, you could handle fulfillment yourself or team up with a third-party logistics provider.
Ooh, decisions. So it was like choosing between doing all the party prep ourselves or hiring a caterer.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Doing it yourself gives you a lot of control, but you need the space, the resources, the know-how.
Right.
A third-party provider, they can take a lot off your plate, but you got to make sure you choose one that shares your values and will take good care of your customers.
Definitely. So there's no one right way to do it. It really depends on the party you're throwing.
Exactly. Now, no matter how you decide to do it, there are some key ingredients for fulfillment success.
Okay, I'm ready. What's the recipe?
Communication. You've got to keep your customers in the loop every step of the way. Order confirmations, tracking info, let them know when their package is on its way.
Right, got to keep those communication lines open. No radio silence.
Exactly. It's all about managing expectations.
Makes sense. And what about returns? We all know those happen. Someone picks up the wrong party favor. It just wasn't what they expected.
Returns are part of the game.
For sure.
You need a clear return policy. Lay it all out. The process, how long it takes, any costs involved.
So we're not trying to make returns impossible. We just want to make it easy and clear, right?
Exactly. A good return experience can actually build trust.
Okay, interesting. So we've covered getting people to the party, making sure they have a good time, getting those party favors out. What about just general customer service? How do we make sure people feel taken care of on TikTok Shop?
Speed is essential on TikTok. People are used to instant responses, so aim to answer any questions within 24 hours.
Got it. No waiting around.
Right, but it's not just about being quick, it's about being helpful. You want your customers to feel valued, not like just another number.
Yeah. It's like having that dedicated concierge at the party, someone who's there to help.
Exactly. Personalize those interactions whenever you can.
Right.
Use their name, mention their past orders, show them you're paying attention.
Okay, that makes sense. So being proactive too, right?
Yes. Anticipate the common questions and put that info in your product descriptions, FAQs, wherever you can.
So the more information up front, the fewer questions later on.
You got it. Think of it like having helpful signs around your party venue, guiding people to where they need to go.
I'm loving this party analogy. We've got the
Yeah.
setup, the fun, the food, the friendly staff. Now, how do we keep the party going? How do we build a brand that people remember and keep coming back to?
That's where building a strong brand presence comes in. And it's about creating an identity that feels right at home on TikTok, but also truly represents your business.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we cut through all the noise and make our brand stand out?
The first thing is you really got to know your audience. Who are you trying to reach? What kind of content are they into? What are their values? Get to know them.
So it's not just about putting out content that we think is cool. It's about understanding what our ideal customer actually likes.
Right. Once you know your audience, you can start creating a brand voice and a look that speaks directly to them. Think about the overall feel, the vibe of your brand. Are you playful, sophisticated?
It's like choosing the theme and decorations for our party, right?
Exactly. We want it all to feel cohesive and reflect the mood.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about the story? Every good party has a good story behind it.
Absolutely. Your brand story is what makes you unique. What are your values? Why are you doing this? What problems are you solving?
It's the why behind the party.
Exactly. People connect with brands that have a purpose, a mission. Share your story authentically, and you'll build trust with your followers.
It's like inviting people into our world, letting them see what we're all about.
Exactly. And speaking of being authentic, consistency is key. Think about your logo, colors, fonts. These should be consistent across all your content.
Got it. It's like having a dress code for our party. We want it to feel like a unified experience.
Precisely. Consistency makes your brand instantly recognizable.
Okay, so we've got the audience, the vibe, the story, the look. Now, what about actually engaging with people? How do we make our followers feel like they're part of the party?
That's all about community engagement. It's about creating a sense of belonging.
So not just talking at people, but talking with them.
Exactly. Respond to comments, answer questions, ask questions of your own, do polls, live streams, encourage people to interact.
It's like being a good host, mingling with the guests, making sure everyone's having fun.
You got it. And don't forget about user-generated content. Encourage your followers to create content featuring your products and share it.
That's like our guests inviting their friends to the party.
Exactly. User-generated content is gold because it feels authentic and relatable.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
But let's be real, there's a lot of competition out there. It's like a million parties happening at the same time.
Yeah.
How do we make ours stand out?
Competition is tough, especially on TikTok. You got to figure out what makes you unique. What's your special sauce?
It's like figuring out our party's signature cocktail, the thing you can only get at this party.
That's it. Maybe it's amazing customer service, or maybe your products are eco-friendly or handmade, whatever it is. Make sure people know about it.
Got it. So we're not just trying to fit in, we're trying to really own what makes us different.
Exactly. And never underestimate the power of a great customer experience. Think about every touch point, from the moment they find your shop to the moment they get their order. Make it smooth, enjoyable, memorable.
It's about all those little details that elevate the experience.
Yes. Now, let's shift gears for a minute and talk about something super important. Safety.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. It's like having a good security team at our party, making sure everyone feels safe.
Exactly. TikTok has safety guidelines, and it's important to understand them and operate within those rules.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Playing by the rules, making sure our party is a safe and respectful place.
Exactly. And protect your own account. Strong password, two-factor authentication, all that good stuff.
Right. Being smart partygoers.
Exactly. And when it comes to your customers' data, privacy and security are super important.
Absolutely. We're responsible hosts. We got to protect our guests' information.
Exactly. And if you're taking payments through TikTok Shop, make sure you're using a secure payment system.
No funny business at our party.
Oh.
Everything's safe and secure. Okay, so safety check. What else?
Let's talk trends. They change all the time on TikTok, you know? It's like the music at the party. Got to keep it fresh.
Yeah, trends can be a lot. How do we know which ones to hop on and which ones to skip?
Not every trend is for every brand. You got to choose wisely. Go with the ones that fit your audience and your brand.
So find the trends that match our party vibe.
Exactly. And you can always put your own spin on a trend, you know, make it unique to your brand.
That's a good point. So stay on top of what's happening, but don't lose sight of who you are. Got it.
Exactly. Now, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the golden rule of TikTok Shop?
It's always evolving. What works today might not work tomorrow.
So we got to be flexible.
Absolutely. Experiment, learn as you go, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
It's about the journey, not just the destination.
You got it. And most importantly, have fun.
I love that. TikTok is all about creativity and connection. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of TikTok Shop. We hope you're feeling inspired to create something amazing.
Remember, the possibilities are endless. Go out there and experiment.
It's like we can see what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's like having that backstage pass, you know? You get to see what's really going on.
Okay, I'm into it.
Yeah.
So data can show us like what people are clicking on, what they're actually buying.
It can, yeah. You can see which products are getting all the attention, what kind of content is driving those sales.
And it can tell us if our ads are working, like if they're reaching the right people.
Exactly. It's
Oh.
all right there. Think of it as a constant feedback loop. It's telling you what those partygoers are loving, what they're ignoring, and where you can tweak things to keep the energy up.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the raw numbers, it's about understanding what they mean.
Exactly. Like, let's say you've got some product demos. Some are doing great, others, not so much.
Yeah.
Data can help you figure out why.
Interesting.
Maybe the lighting is better in one, or the music is more catchy.
Oh, that makes sense.
Data can point you in the right direction.
So it's like having a real-time focus group helping us fine-tune things as we go.
You got it. And you can constantly test and experiment, try different content styles, see what happens with different ad campaigns.
So it's all about being adaptable, listening to what the data is telling us, and making adjustments as we go.
Exactly. Now, we've talked about throwing this amazing party, getting everyone in the door, but what about the party favors? We got to make sure those get handed out properly.
Right, of course. You're talking about fulfillment.
I am.
Making sure those orders are processed, packaged up, and shipped out without any problems.
Precisely. And there are some choices to make here.
Okay.
Do you want to handle fulfillment yourself, or do you want to bring in a third party, like a logistics company?
So it's like deciding whether to handle all the party food ourselves or bring in a caterer.
Perfect analogy. If you do it yourself, you have more control.
Right.
But you need the space, the staff, the expertise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A third-party provider can take a lot off your plate, but you really want to choose a partner that aligns with your brand and, will provide excellent customer service.
For sure. So there's no right or wrong answer. It depends on your business and how you want to do things.
Exactly. Now, no matter which way you go, there are some key things to keep in mind for successful fulfillment.
Okay, lay it on me.
Communication is key. You've got to keep your customers informed every step of the way.
Right, so like order confirmations, tracking information, all that good stuff.
All of it. You want them to feel like they know exactly what's going on with their order.
Yeah, no one likes to be left in the dark.
No radio silence. It's all about managing expectations.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about returns? I mean, let's face it, they're going to happen. Someone might order something and then decide they don't want it.
It's true, returns are just part of doing business, especially online. You need a clear return policy, one that's easy to understand.
Okay.
Be upfront about the process, how long it takes, if there are any costs involved.
So we're not trying to make returns impossible. We just want to be transparent about it, right?
Exactly. And honestly, a smooth return experience can actually build trust with customers.
Interesting.
They'll feel
Huh.
more confident buying from you if they know that returns aren't a hassle.
Makes sense.
Ah.
So we've covered getting people to our TikTok shop, getting those orders out the door. Let's talk about general customer service. How do we make sure people are happy?
Well, speed is key on TikTok.
Yeah.
People are used to quick responses.
Yeah.
Aim to get back to people within 24 hours, if not sooner.
Okay, so no making people wait days for a response.
No way. But it's not just about speed. It's also about being genuinely helpful. You want people to feel like they're talking to a real person who cares, not a robot.
Yeah, I hate getting those generic canned responses.
Right. Personalize those interactions whenever you can. Use their name, mention a past order, anything to show that you're paying attention.
Little things like that can make a big difference, I think.
They really can. And don't forget to be proactive.
What do you mean?
Like, think of the common questions you get and answer those up front.
Oh, I see. So put that info in your product descriptions, FAQs, stuff like that.
Exactly. The more info you give people up front, the less they'll need to reach out to you.
Saves everyone time and hassle.
Right. Think of it like clear signage at your party. Everything's easy to find.
Okay, I love this party analogy. It really helps to visualize everything. So we've got the setup, the fun, the food, making sure everyone's taken care of. Now, how do we create a brand, a lasting presence on TikTok Shop?
That's where it gets really interesting. Building a strong brand presence is all about creating an identity that truly represents your business while also feeling authentic to TikTok.
Okay, that sounds like a challenge. How do we do that? How do we make our brand stand out from all the noise?
It is a challenge, but it's definitely doable. The first step is knowing your audience, like really knowing them. Who are you trying to connect with? What do they like? What are their values?
So it's not just about creating content that we think is cool. It's about understanding our target audience.
Exactly. Once you have a good handle on that, then you can start to develop a brand voice and aesthetic that really resonates with them.
Okay, so, are we fun and playful or more sophisticated?
That's it. Think about the overall vibe you want to project.
Okay, I like that. So it's kind of like choosing a theme for our party. We want everything to feel cohesive.
Exactly. And don't forget the music. Your brand voice is how you communicate, the tone of your captions, how you interact with followers. It all adds up.
Got it. So we've got the audience, the vibe. What about the story? Every good party has a story, right?
You're right. Your brand story is what sets you apart. What are your values? Why are you doing what you do?
It's the reason we're throwing the party in the first place.
Exactly. People want to connect with brands that have a purpose. Share your story authentically, and people will trust you.
It's like inviting people into our world.
And speaking of inviting people in, consistency is key. Your logo, your colors, your fonts, they should all be consistent.
Okay, so it's like having a dress code for our party.
I like that. It makes your brand instantly recognizable, even when people are scrolling through tons of content.
Okay, so we've covered the audience, the vibe, the story, even the look. Now, how do we actually engage with people? How do we make them feel like they're part of this amazing party we've created?
That's all about community engagement. You want people to feel like they belong, like they're part of something.
So it's a two-way conversation.
Exactly. Respond to comments, answer questions, ask your own questions.
Get people talking.
Yes. Run polls, do live streams, anything that encourages interaction.
It's like being a good host at a party. We're mingling, making sure everyone feels welcome.
You got it. And don't underestimate the power of user-generated content.
What do you mean?
Encourage your followers to create content featuring your products.
So it's like they're spreading the word and inviting their friends to the party.
Exactly. And it's so powerful because it's authentic. It's real people sharing their genuine experiences.
Okay, I love that. Now let's talk about competition. It feels like there are a million other parties happening at the same time. How do we make sure ours stands out?
Competition is definitely fierce, especially on TikTok where things move so fast.
Yeah.
The key is to identify what makes you unique. What's your special sauce?
It's like figuring out our party's signature drink.
Yes. What's the one thing that people can only get at your party? Maybe you've got incredible customer service, or your products are sustainable or handmade. Whatever it is, make sure you're shouting it from the rooftops.
So we're not trying to blend in, we're highlighting what makes us different.
Exactly. And never underestimate the power of a great customer experience. Think about every single interaction someone has with your brand.
So from the moment they discover our shop to the moment they get their order, everything needs to be top-notch.
Precisely. Make it smooth, make it enjoyable, make it memorable.
So we're creating a party that people will rave about.
That's the goal. Now, in the midst of all the fun, we can't forget about safety.
Right. Safety first.
Yeah.
It's like having a good security team at our party, keeping an eye on things.
Exactly. TikTok has safety guidelines. Make sure you know what they are.
So we're playing by the rules and making sure our party is a safe and respectful environment for everyone.
Exactly. And don't forget about your own account security. Use a strong password, two-factor authentication.
Got it. Don't want any party crashers.
Right. And when it comes to your customers' data, privacy is paramount.
Oh, absolutely. We need to protect their information.
Exactly. And if you're taking payments through TikTok Shop, make sure you're using a secure system.
No funny business at our party.
Now let's talk trends. TikTok trends come and go so quickly.
Yeah, it's like the music at our party. Got to keep things fresh and exciting. But how do we keep up?
The key is to be selective. Not every trend is a good fit for every brand.
So how do we choose the right trends?
Think about your target audience, your brand voice, your overall vibe.
So find the trends that fit our party theme.
You got it. And remember, you can put your own unique spin on any trend. The goal is to have fun and experiment.
So stay on top of what's happening, but don't lose sight of your own brand.
Exactly. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, what's the most important thing to remember about TikTok Shop?
It's constantly changing. What works today might not work tomorrow.
So what's the best approach?
Be adaptable. Don't be afraid to experiment and learn as you go.
It's not about having all the answers. It's about being willing to dive in and figure things out along the way.
You got it. And most importantly, have fun. TikTok is all about creativity and connection.
I love that. Well, that's a wrap on this deep dive into the world of TikTok Shop. We hope you're feeling inspired and ready to get started.
Remember, the possibilities are endless. Go out there and create something amazing.